Well, hello there, and how are you? I'm going to go ahead and put on some of this Proraso pre-shave cream here. Prep my face with that real quick. I might speed up the camera just to get this part over with, but I love this stuff. And I've got a nice new soap to use today, one that I received last week, and along with several other soaps, and I haven't used it yet. Okay, I'm going to put the lid back on this and wash my hand off, just rinse it off. That's nice stuff to prep with. I'll show it to you again here, the Proraso Menthol and Eucalyptus, the large version of the pre-shave cream. I'll set this over here, rinse my hand off. I hope you're all having a great week out there. It hasn't been too bad here. It was supposed to rain here tonight in an hour or so, and we did get some sprinkles already, so we'll see. Now, my new soap is going to be, it's new to me anyway, it's been around a little while. Razor Emporium has a line of soaps now, as you may already know, and this is their barbershop shaving soap. It is, it's like that, and it's kind of a tacky, it's fairly hard, but it's also a tacky soap. And I've bowl lathered it. I've lathered it in this. It's the Timeless Razor shaving bowl. Thought I'd use that again. I hadn't used it in a minute. I've lathered up my Crowley Tosh Black Badger brush from England, from the UK. And since I've more or less fixed my sink here, so that it doesn't have a slow drain, at least not for the minute, not for the moment. I'm going to put a little hot water in there. That's probably enough. I'm going to go ahead and wet just the tips of this and start trying to put a lather on my face. And I'll show you the razor and everything else here in a minute. Oh, that's nice. Oh, wow, yeah. Maybe just a touch more water. Don't need much. I put about a teaspoon of water with the soap in the shaving bowl. This is pretty nice. And there is a mild barbershop scent on this soap. It's pleasant, pretty standard barbershop scent. And as far as scent strength goes, I'd give it about a 2 or a 3 out of 10, which isn't bad. It's right about where you would want it, unless you like a stronger scent. And also I notice this scent is building as I lather, and kind of filling the small necessity room here with a pleasant scent. That, along with the Proraso pre-shave cream, which has a menthol and eucalyptus scent, but is also reminiscent of a classic barbershop. My razor, once again, I hadn't used this in a minute, but the King C Gillette 3-piece razor, like so, and in there, on what will be its 4th use, a feather high stainless blade, and I hope 4 uses won't be too bad on one of these. I've had good uses with it so far. I'm going to go ahead and drain the sink, which drains pretty readily now. I did a little adjustment to it underneath. I was having trouble with it before, but I think I have it about right now. Excuse me, I have to keep clearing my throat here, but rinse the razor and we'll begin pass number 1 with the grain. So here we go. And like I was saying, I hope things are going good wherever you are in your world. I hope your world is, to quote the late Bob Ross, the joy of painting guy, I hope it's full of happy little trees and happy little rocks and blue skies and pretty mountains, whatever. This is pretty comfortable so far. A fairly sharp blade in a mild razor. Rather mild aggression to this razor. This would be a good starter razor, I believe. 3-piece, non-adjustable. Often available at Walgreens pharmacies in the United States. I had to buy mine online from Walgreens because I live in a smaller community that doesn't have a Walgreens. I'm gonna rinse the razor now. And that rinsed pretty clean. Didn't have to rinse too long, but I still cut out the rinsing part just to make the video shorter. Maybe that's because I tend to make some of my lathers a little pasty. And it might take me longer to rinse a razor, especially one with a narrow gap like this. Mild aggression. Might take me longer to rinse than some people. And I get a little OCD about my rinsing of razors. I have a ham roast thawing out in the kitchen. I intend to cook that, add some pineapple, some cloves, and then maybe when it's about half done, I might put some carrots and potatoes in with it. I know that usually goes with a beef roast, but gonna do it that way. I might even put a touch of cinnamon on the ham. If I had honey, I might add that, excuse me. And perhaps later this week or next week, I might make some pork cutlets or a pork steak or roast with some applesauce that I happen to have. And I got exactly 5 new soaps. One I used last week on the channel. And in the coming weeks, I'll showcase some of the new soaps I have. They all have that sort of tacky consistency and are good, in my opinion, for bowl lathering. You could lather them straight out of the tub, but 3 of them have smaller tubs, and for me, that makes lathering out of the tub a little difficult. So these soaps, you will probably see me bowl lather all of them. I have several shaving bowls, so I might showcase different ones of those too. Last week I used a different one that I'm using this week, and so forth. Okay, that's pass number 1 done. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'll come back to you. We'll do pass number 3, and that will be across the grain. Okay, excuse me again. I'm re-lathered here for that second pass, and this soap, which I'll show you again, I believe, even though I don't generally review products per se, I believe I could recommend this if you're looking for just a decent barbershop soap. And it lathers good for me. Now, many of you gentlemen get really great lathers, and I get jealous sometimes, but if it'll do this well for me, you can pretty much imagine what it'll do for you. This is good stuff, and they did a good job on this. Emporium's Barbershop shaving soap. Okay, let me get to shaving again. Across the grain, here we go. I don't want to draw this out too much, this shave. Although it's nice visiting with you, and this is one of those weeks where thankfully I don't appear, or at least I don't feel like I'm at the bottom of my personality, at least not as much as in some previous weeks. To be honest with you, even though I quite enjoy shaving, I enjoy the hobby tremendously. Sometimes when I'm at the bottom of my personality and it's my evening or day to do a video, there are times, and even when I'm not doing a video, there have been times that I just wanted to get the shave over with, which kind of flies in the face of what we're trying to do in this hobby. Other times, usually, it's wonderful me time for me. And there have been days where I've been tempted just to use a can of goo and a cartridge or disposable. And I've done that from time to time. I guess that's a major sin in the wet shaving world, but when you're in a hurry and need to get out the door quickly or whatever the case may be, if you feel like you're at the bottom of your personality, I have a very nice can of goo. I had a lesser can of goo that I got at Dollar Tree for $1. I gave that to a gentleman down the hall. That and a few disposable razors, because he and his wife had just moved in and they were having trouble finding things, including some of his shaving stuff. Excuse me. Very nice shave so far. 4th use on this blade and still humming right along as far as I'm concerned. I suspected I would get a lot of use out of these feather blades. I don't have a whole lot. I just have, I think just one tuck of them right now, which originally came with 10, and then I had a small tuck that came with the feather popular razor, which I have, but it only contained 2 blades. It only came with 2 blades. And before that, it had been years since I'd used a feather blade. Someone gave me one along with several other blades to try. And that's going back to 2012 when I got into this hobby. So that was some time ago. Okay, about done there for the 2nd pass. I'll come back for a 3rd pass and then we'll go against the grain. Okay, time to go against the grain here. I cut a lot out of my videos, but they still tend to be kind of long, because I try to do a nice shave and a nice chat. Occasionally have to be careful trying to shave and talk at the same time. I guess it's like when I try to walk and chew gum at the same time, it doesn't always work out. Being that my learning curve may be a little steeper than some other people's. This is still pretty comfortable so far. I have a tendency to overdo it. I thought I felt a little irritation, and I mean just a little right there. Well, my neck is a little red, but my face and neck get red very easily, especially if I go out in the sun in the warm weather. And we did have some warmth today. I think it got up into the 60s. Excuse me. Blade is not feeling tuggy. I don't know. I'm sure it's not as sharp as it was the first 3 uses, but it's still comfortable, especially in this razor. The feather works so well in these King C Gillette razors, in my opinion, or at least in my experience so far. I believe that's the only blade I've used in this razor. I haven't used one of the King C Gillette blades that came with it, although I did use one of those in a different Gillette razor in my old black tip, I think. All right. Okay. Yeah, except for where I was overdoing it, even though parts of my face and neck may get red from shaving anyway, but other than that, a very comfortable shave. But I no sooner spoke, I noticed, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little bit, yeah, there it is, a little bit of blood on there. I caught myself there somewhere. I have a feeling that will rinse out fine with cold water, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Just not sure how I did that, and I didn't even feel it. I might have opened up a weeper from yesterday or the day before. I can tell you it looks a lot worse than it feels, but you can see some blood there and on the razor. On the flip side, when I was doing down here somewhere. Sometimes I'll get weepers going against the grain under my nose. Nothing yet, and that's feeling really good too. Well, I'm going to pop out, pop back in, I'll come back, and then it'll be pickup time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, here's the crazy magical clock to let us know that it's pickup time, everybody. Yay, pickup time. Thank you, magical clock. Okay, here I go. Very nice. Really enjoying this soap. Just enjoying this shave overall. I guess it was down here. I must have opened up a small weeper. Or attained one in that general area. Now I don't see it. Must have been pretty small, although quite a bit of blood came out of it, it seems like. I still see a little bit of blood maybe on my lather here. I do have a feeling that some cold water will take care of that. And alum and styptic pencils and such can be hit or miss for me. Sometimes they work very well, other times they don't. Regardless of how large or small the nick or weeper is. They used to just call them nicks, and now we call them weepers or bleeders if they're really bad. I'm going to rinse the razor and go over my neck one more time. I don't know if I'm going to attain BBS on this or if I should even chase it too far, but for a blade on its fourth use, having a really comfortable shave, although because of how it's performed, opening up that little weeper or causing one, I believe I will call it quits on this blade after this shave. I'll probably put another feather blade in the razor though. Let's see, that side's pretty smooth. Now I'm just kind of gilding the lily, I guess. Because, yeah, for a blade on its fourth use, and in this mildly aggressive razor, I'm getting great performance. And it's probably not good to try to gild the lily any further. That is pretty smooth. And really, to be honest with you, yeah, that is maybe not the top end of a BBS shave, but down towards the bottom, I'd say it's a little better than a DFS shave. I'd say that is actually in the BBS range, believe it or not. It's very nice. Okay, I'll come back. I'll rinse the razor, the bowl, the brush, my face. I'll come back with Mr. Towel, our good friend. I'll dry off. Then I'll do brief recaps and put the finishing touches on this shave. Say hello to our good friend Mr. Towel. He's handy to have around to dry our face off here. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh so nice. So nice. Oh. Face is feeling good. I always like this part of the shave, as do a lot of people. A lot of gentlemen who shave their face. And, oh man. Oh. Mm. Yeah, that's feeling nice. And Mr. Towel's pretty soft. That feels nice. I'll put him back where he goes. Oh, I really am enjoying this. I'll start a brief recap now, and then I'll put the finishing touches on the shave. Well, first of all, let's see, what did I do with it? Oh, it's over here. I started out on camera this time. I prepped my face rather quickly, I guess, with the Proraso pre-shave cream, the menthol and eucalyptus in the large 300 milliliter tub. Very nice. And, oh, let's see, my razor has been this 3-piece non-adjustable King C Gillette razor. No overhang, or, well, there is some very, very little overhang. And in there on its fourth and probably final use, a feather high stainless blade, which I got good use out of. And my brush has been this Crowley Tosh Black Badger brush with the nice faux tortoise shell handle there. That's from the UK. My bowl, and there's still a little bit of soap in the bottom. I might scrape that out and put it back in the soap tub. But the Timeless Razor shaving bowl. You can see the big T and so forth on there. Okay. And the star of the show has been this week the Razor Emporium Barbershop shaving soap. It's been around for a while, but it's new to me, new to this channel, and I quite enjoyed it. Okay, let's see. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. I hope not. So I'm going to move over here and get some of this. I'm going to apply some of the Robert's Rose Water from Italy and shake that up a little bit. Doesn't really need shook up, probably. I'll uncant it, put a little bit in my hand here, and you got to be careful because there's no restrictor on this bottle, which is the only thing I don't like about that product, is that there's no restrictor on the bottle. But it's got witch hazel in it, no alcohol. It's a toner for the face, a lovely light rose scent, and it's just really nice. A mild soother for the face, I guess you could say. I'll wipe my hands off there, and that's feeling and smelling nice. I'll recap that and show you the bottle again, the Robert's Rose Water from Italy. Now I'm going to move over here, and this is from the United States, but this company started out about 100 years ago in France before they moved to the United States. The classic Pinaud Clubman aftershave, which has, I would say, a nice barbershop scent. It reminds me a little bit of, and this bottle does have a nice restrictor on it, by the way. It's always reminded me a little bit of, like if you took some Brute and added some talc to it, some pleasant smelling, mild talc. At least that's what it smells like to me. You may not get that, but a little behind the ears, on the temples, a little on the wrists, back of the neck a little bit. And yeah, there's some sting to that, because that does have alcohol in it. But that means it's doing its job, and that also feels and smells very nice. Bit of a stronger scent to that. But I'll put the little green lid back on there and show you that again. The classic Pinaud Clubman aftershave. And finally, let's see, I'm doing pretty good on time. We're going to finish up with the original Nivea Men post-shave balm. And yeah, I'm not sure. I think this stuff may have aloe vera in it. But I know it has no parabens, which is very important to some people that are conscious about that, or conscious about that kind of thing. I don't worry too much about it because the products I use that do have parabens, I don't use them daily. They're in my rotation, but I don't use them a lot. And I think I know which ones do and which ones don't for the most part. And I think we're going to end the shave and the conversation there. I'll recap this bottle. Put the little blue square lid on it, and that's your Nivea Men original post-shave balm, which I have to go online to get this. For some reason, the original is hard to find, or maybe impossible to find in stores here in the United States. That's it, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope to be back next week with one of my other new soaps. And until then, may you have peace and just take care of yourself and one another.